Hey Grand Adventurers, welcome back. I'm your host Mark Guido, and we're here at the Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick, Canada to experience the world's greatest tidal change. So stay tuned. The Bay of Fundy, between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, is home to the highest tidal range in the world. At times, the difference in height between the daily low and high tides can exceed 50 feet. In one 12-hour tidal cycle, about 100 billion tons of water flows in and out of the bay, which is twice as much as the combined total flow of all the rivers in the world over the same time period. It's impressive to witness these tides change. We're staying this week right along the bay shore at Ponderosa Pines, home to 115 campsites that range from wooded dry tent camping all the way up to 65-foot 50-amp full hookup sites like ours. We're paying 510 Canadian dollars plus tax for the week, or approximately $52.80 US per night at today's exchange rate. Campground facilities include a swimming pool, large laundry room, playground, stocked fishing ponds, restrooms with showers, cabins, a small general store, and access to the Bay of Fundy. Hopewell Rocks Provincial Park is one of the most popular spots to witness the tides in the Bay of Fundy, and it's literally within walking distance of Ponderosa Pines Campground. A beautiful wooded hiking trail leads 1.4 miles each way, right to the entrance gate at Hopewell Rocks. Hopewell Rocks, also called flower pot rocks or simply the rocks, are sandstone and mudstone sea stacks standing 40 to 70 feet tall that have been caused by tidal erosion. They are standing in the water at high tide and remain high and dry at low tide, when one can walk the beach among them. It's another 15-minute walk from the entrance gate to Flower Pot Rocks, or you could catch a golf cart shuttle instead for an additional fee. It's best to plan 2 visits to Hopewell Rocks, once at high tide and again at low tide. For that reason, admission fees allow entrance to the park on 2 consecutive days. There are kayakers out there, but they've rented boats and hired guides from Baymount Outdoor Adventures located within the park. What I hadn't realized, which I find somewhat disturbing, is that the park does not allow private kayakers like myself to launch from their facility, thwarting my plan to paddle the Bay of Fundy among Hopewell Rocks. Returning at low tide, the difference is absolutely stunning. After the retreat of the glaciers in the region following the last ice age, surface water filtering through the cracks in the cliff has eroded and separated the formations from the rest of the cliff face. Meanwhile, advancing and retreating tides and the associated waves have eroded the base of the rocks at a faster rate than the tops, resulting in their unusual shapes. From a personal perspective, the park is a bit overly developed for my taste. It feels somewhat Disneyfied, and entrance fees are steep. Personally, I'd much rather enjoy a more natural setting and a more serene experience. When we come right back, following a quick ad break, we'll travel to Moncton to see a more dramatic example of the Bay of Fundy tides and defy gravity at Magnetic Hill. We'll also explore Fundy National Park and more, so stay tuned. We've headed up to the city of Moncton, about a half-hour's drive away, to witness a more immediate example of the power of the Fundy tides. Lots of other folks are here to see it too. Most of the rivers that drain into the Bay of Fundy, including the Petitcodiac River here in Moncton, have what's called a tidal bore, which is a wave front of the incoming tide that bores its way up a river to reverse the direction of the river's current. Bores only occur in a relatively few locations worldwide, usually in areas with a large tidal range exceeding 20 feet, and where incoming tides are funneled into a shallow, narrowing river. The funnel-like shape not only increases the tidal range, but it can also decrease the duration of the flood tide, down to a point where the flood appears as a sudden increase in the water level. And here it comes, right on schedule. The Petitcodiac River tidal bore is what's called an undulate bore, comprising a smooth wavefront followed by a train of secondary waves known as whelps. This used to be the highest bore in North America at over 6.6 feet in height. The causeway construction between Moncton and Riverview in the 1960s led to extensive sedimentation, which reduced the bore to little more than a ripple. The causeway gates were reopened in 2010, and once the river began to flush itself of ocean silts, the tidal bore began to grow again. The causeway was replaced with a bridge, completed in September 2021. With nearly 80,000 residents, Moncton is the most populous city in New Brunswick. It was officially founded in 1766, with the arrival of Pennsylvania German immigrants from Philadelphia, and was named for Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moncton, the British officer who had captured nearby Fort Beauséjour. Today, RV travelers will find virtually anything they may need here. At the northwestern end of Moncton sits Magnetic Hill. Farmers knew about the unusual properties of this road since the early 1800s, but Magnetic Hill didn't become a tourist destination until 1933, when a newspaper editor and 2 reporters visited the area and published an article about the phenomenon which a local couple, Muriel Lutz and her husband Lou Sikorsky, subsequently launched as a commercial attraction. With the rise in automobile tourism after the Second World War, the road became one of the most popular tourist destinations in Canada. Drivers enter this dip in the road and proceed to the white post, where they move into the left lane and place their vehicles in neutral. Very quickly, the vehicle begins to reverse and appears to return to the top of the hill it just descended, defying gravity. But it's no mystery. It's an optical illusion. Magnetic Hill's unique attributes create the illusion that automobiles and other objects, including running water, apparently travel uphill. Due to the slopes and grades here at the foot of Lutz Mountain, and the foliage obscuring the view of the horizon, what appears to be an uphill grade actually runs downhill. Muriel Lutz and Lou Sikorsky must have been astute business people, for an entire tourism industry has since sprung up around this once rural half-kilometer stretch of road, including a zoo, a water park, and other attractions. We're actually spending this week where Chapoti Bay widens into Chinecto Bay, both extensions of the Bay of Fundy lined by small farming and fishing villages, and many remaining examples of the area's charming rural character. Just southwest of our campground, Cape Enrage is the name given to the southern tip of Barn Marsh Island that is surrounded by jagged sea cliffs that are often over 150 feet high and is separated from the mainland by a narrow tidal creek. Cape Enrage derives its name from a large reef that extends south into Chinecto Bay, which causes the water off the point to become extremely violent, particularly at half tide, when the reef is partially exposed and the water is moving quickly. village of Alma is the gateway town to Fundy National Park. While the community was historically centered around fishing and lumbering, and fishing remains one of Alma's economic drivers even today, it has been surpassed by tourism following the national park's opening in 1950. Fundy National Park showcases a rugged coastline which rises up to the Canadian Highlands, the Bay of Fundy's massive tides, and more than 25 waterfalls. Park amenities also include a heated saltwater swimming pool and more than 62 miles of hiking and biking trails. This may be the only national park I've seen anywhere with a golf course. There are also 5 campgrounds within the national park. When we come right back, following another quick ad break to pay the bills, we'll visit the Fundy Trail Parkway in the charming Bay of Fundy town of St. Martin's. So stay tuned. It's a beautiful Saturday for a drive. Mrs. GA is taking our son back to Montreal, so I only have Zoe to answer to today. With an hour and a half still to go before high tide, the fishing fleet at Alma is already high and dry. No one will be heading out to fish for a while. Today's objective is Fundy Trail Provincial Park. This is a lateral park centered on a 19-mile parkway completed in 1998. So in many ways, this is a driving experience, although there are also several hiking trails ranging from short to long. The parkway provides access to more than 20 specified lookout locations along the coast, passing 5 different beaches and 4 different waterfalls along the way. This flower pot rock was much taller until February 2022, when the top portion tumbled into the sea during a harsh winter storm. The parkway ends at the town of St. Martin's. This is why we're here at low tide, to walk to the St. Martin's Sea Caves. Many, many other people are doing the same. While you're here, it's worth walking over to the Cave Restaurant for some tasty quick service seafood with a view. Yes, this is my third serving of fried clams in 3 different restaurants just this week. Around here, if you don't eat seafood, you very well may starve. We got within a mile of the center of town in St. Martin's, but no closer. This gentleman will be turning around vehicles for the next hour or more, for there's a parade taking place today on the only 2-lane road leading into and out of town. Meanwhile, back in Alma, there's still another 90 minutes to go until high tide, but everyone is already floating again. Yet another visual example of the massive Bay of Fundy tides. With no one else home today, neither Zoe nor I feel compelled to rush back. But before dark, we'll pack up camp to prepare to head out in the morning, this time bound for Maine. We hope that you've enjoyed visiting the Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick, Canada with us. This is our last stop on our Atlantic Canada swing on our Northeastern Tour 2024. We're now heading back into the United States, where next week we will come to you from the Bar Harbor area of Maine. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, now is the perfect time for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a Grand Adventure, which we premiere right here every Wednesday evening. We'd also be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand, it is extremely important to us that if you liked this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, That's where you'll find the comments section where we'd love to hear from you each and every week. So until next Wednesday from Bar Harbor, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.